started to get the hang of it a bit. And again, I wish I started on the walls, so then the learning curve would have been a little bit quicker. But it is what it is, and this is how we were looking at the end of day 3. Just waiting for it all to dry overnight and then some additional coats.
Music bed.
On day 5 was a little bit of an additional mudding around some areas that I missed and some other coats, but a lot of sponge sanding. I didn't mind spending a little bit of extra time with the sponge because my mudding in itself was, like I said, pretty flawed. So I put a little bit of extra time in the sponge sander to get it as smooth as I could. And this is how we were looking after a lot of sanding. I also threw on third coats on the walls. As you can see, a lot of it's drying here. But it was turning out pretty good. I was pretty happy with the process and how it was going. Also had to patch up a couple holes on the ceiling there where the previous owners had some hooks for like some bicycle storage. Not gonna bore you with a whole lot of stuff from day 6. It was a lot of rinse and repeat of the same thing over and over and over again with sanding, as many of you know. And then it was time to start primer. So I went through a lot of the edges with a brush and got the primer on there. I'm just gonna roll the primer and then I'm gonna spray the paint. This is where you get to see the most progress the quickest. And you can see the primer lays on pretty thin, and this is something that was new to me. I've never primered just drywall before. And then once it dries, it dries pretty white. And I was pretty surprised on how white it dried. And then this is how she's looking after all her coats of primer. Like I said, most of this has 2 coats. There were a couple areas I was able to get away with 1 coat, but about 90% of this all is 2 coats of primer. And I was pretty happy with how it was looking and how it came out, and then really excited because now we can get into painting.